Om Swastiastu. Gilak is one of the most common and exciting colotomic structures found in Balinese Gamelan. This traditional 8-beat cycle can be performed as an independent instrumental piece to accompany dance or be part of a larger composition. Traditional Balinese musical structures are mainly in cyclic forms called agongan, meaning in one gong. The big gong becomes the finalist as well as ending point of a certain structure. To identify the idiosyncrasies of a Balinese gamelan structure, we refer to its colotomic structure. This structure is characterized by the length of each cycle, the number of beats, and the distribution of markers from its colotomic instruments. In Balinese Gamelan, these markers also serve as indicators of meter. By examining the strokes of the gong, kampur, kajar, and kompli, the metrical framework can be discerned. Today, we will break down the Gilak to help you understand it better. In the Gilak structure, the cycle begins and ends on the 8th beat, signaled by the large lower-pitched gong known as the gong wadon. Additionally, a smaller, higher-pitched gong called the gong lanang sounds on the 4th beat. Completing this rhythmic arrangement, the medium-sized gong, or kampur, is struck on beats 5 and 7, which provides a musical suspension leaning towards the gong wadon, while the kompli plays on every even beat and the kajar marks each beat. Here's a demonstration of how this works in practice. This rhythmic and structural arrangement forms the foundations of the Gilak structure. While Gilak has a fixed rhythmic framework, its melodic structure is flexible. Composers are free to create melodies within the 8-beat cycle or extend them to the multiples of 8 beats. In our research, we have identified 4 primary categories of Gilak as an independent instrumental piece, which are Gilak Pamungka, Gilak Pemendak, Gilak Penyinab, and Gilak Pengundang Taksu, each serving a distinct ritualistic function. For this video, we will focus on one of the Gilak pieces in the Gilak Penyinab category, exploring how rhythm, melody, and ornamentations work together. After understanding the colotomic structure of Gilak, the next layer is the jegogan. A pair of jegogan instruments are played on beats 4 and 8. The next stratum are the jublak, which are played on every even beats, matching with the complete strokes. Now, let's take a moment to recap everything we've learned so far. The gongs mark beats 4 and 8, where they are accompanied by the jagogan strokes. The composer strikes on beats 5 and 7, adding a dynamic tension, while the compli plays on every even beat, just like the jublak. Not too difficult, right? Continuing our journey, let's dive into the next layer of complexity. In this section, we hear the ugal, which plays the main melody known as bantang gending. As the leader of the metallophone section, the ugal plays on every beat, in perfect alignment with the kajar. Let's take a listen to how this works in action. One of the most distinctive features of Balinese music is kotekan, a fascinating interlocking rhythmic pattern played by 2 or more instruments. These intricate patterns serve as embellishments to the bantang gending, the main melody. In traditional repertoires, there are 2 primary types of kotekan, which are polos and sangsi. The polos part forms the simpler foundational rhythm or melodic line. This section tends to follow a more straightforward pattern, providing a steady base and structure for the music. It's often easier to follow. Let's now listen to the polo section on the gangsa or metallophone instrument. While the sangsi part is the more intricate and interlocking element that complements the polos, it plays a crucial role in creating complexity. By filling in the gaps, the sangsi adds dynamic rhythms and melodic fragments that interlock with the polos, forming a richer and more textured sound. In this example, the sangsi part is played 3 pitches higher, a technique called ngempat. It mimics the motion of the polos, but at a higher pitch. Let's hear how this sounds. When the polos and sangsi parts are combined, the interplay becomes even more vibrant. Here's how they sound together. Kotekan also extends to the reyong, an instrument consisting of 12 small tune gongs played by 4 players. In this piece, the reyong players are similarly divided into polos and sangsi sections. The polos part emphasizes the main melody or bantang gending, and here how's that sound. The sangseh part fills in the interlocking gaps, adding richness and depth to the texture, as you can hear in the following demonstration. When the rayong polos and sangseh parts are played together, they create a tight, rich, and unique interlocking pattern that closely ties with the bantang gending, enhancing its rhythm and melody. In addition to its colotomic structure, another defining feature of the Gilak form lies in its drumming patterns, known as gagulatan kendang. The word gagulatan comes from gulat, which means to hug, perfectly capturing this intimate, interlocking nature of the rhythms played by the kendang or drums. This pattern is always performed by a pair of kendang cedogan drums, played with panggul kendang or drum mallets, where one drum is lower pitched, called kendang wadon, and the other, higher pitch, is called kendang lanang. The kendang wadon begins its pattern aligning with the gong, and this pattern has a duration of 4 beats. In contrast, the kendang lanang enters slightly later by 1/16th note, mimicking the pattern played by the kendang wadon. When these two patterns come together, they create a captivating and unique rhythmic interlocking. The kendang players are seen as the leaders of the ensemble, guiding the piece through dynamic changes known as angsal and controlling the tempo of the music. Now that we've explored all the instruments in the ensemble, it's time to hear how everything fits together in a complete piece with all its ornamentations. While the ornamentations we've seen here are still in their foundational form, they hold the potential to evolve into intricate and expressive layers as musicians refine their craft. The Gilak structure, with its rich, rhythmic interlockings and dynamic possibilities, provides an endless canvas for creative expression and nuanced performances. We hope this video has sparked a deeper appreciation for the Balinese Gamelan and inspires you to explore its vibrant complexity further. Thank you for joining us on this musical journey. May your exploration of Balinese Gamelan continue to unfold. Om Santi, 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 Om.